Well, this is coming out this week. It's Brandon Sanderson and Mary Robinette Kowal, the original. How exciting. Now, there's a reason for this right now, and I believe it's that Mary Robinette Kowal is floundering. She's not really selling. She has lost a lot of her luster. They're trying to get her name back out there by the publisher, and this is a way to do it because teaming up with Brandon Sanderson, a name that is out there, a name that just guarantees bestseller, is a way to do so. Now, this has been out before. It was just released only as an audiobook originally, and now they're actually trying to come out with other versions of it to try to bring it out 4 years later. And like I said, it's because of what Mary Robinette Kowal is going on. And if you go down the rabbit hole of this is kind of where the sellout of Brandon Sanderson began. If you don't know, Brandon Sanderson has been pushing for extreme leftism for the LGBTQ agenda as hard as he possibly can over the last year. And Mary Robinette Kowal was really the handler that was put in place as they groomed Brandon Sanderson into a big superstar to be part of the corporate elite in science fiction and fantasy here. And because of that, she has to get her little payday, I guess, is what it comes down to. So we'll get into this in just a moment. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things. This is the real fantasy news. We don't shill for Tor Books or the corporations or anything like that, like other fantasy news programs. We are calling it like it is. We are exposing the leftist agenda in culture that's all permeating through all of these evil corporations that are trying to manipulate you through their fiction. That's exactly what it is at the end of the day. We're trying to do something different. We're trying to bring it back here. I'm a fantasy author myself, and this is my Demon's Eye novel. You will love this. It's got a strong male lead. He's a reluctant protagonist, a reluctant hero who is called to fight a great evil. And of course, that's something we can all probably relate to, and definitely relate to it here. I feel like I wasn't given much of a choice. I just had to fight against this evil of corporatism that is going on in science fiction and fantasy publishing, because it's just been a complete disaster over the last 20 years. So pick this up. This is a really fun book. It is a standalone, so you don't have to worry about other installments or anything like that. Just grab it, enjoy it, read it today. I think you'll really, really like it if you like classic fantasy. It's in the description below, available on print and on Kindle. Thank you guys so much for supporting our channel and supporting our efforts here. It's very important. This keeps us going and, of course, helps us fight against this stuff out here, right? So, yes, here it is. Hugo Award-winning authors Brandon Sanderson, Mary Robinette Kowal team up in this sci-fi thriller set in a world where one woman fights to know her true identity. Oh, yes, all about identity and woman. To survive the forces that threaten her very existence. In the near future, humans choose life for a price. Injectable nanite technology is the lifeblood that throws through every individual wishing to experience the world through the lens of their own theme. Yes, identity politics. While death from mortal wounds is still possible, life is made easier in a socially liberated society. Oh, this is fun. Where automation and income equality. Oh, gosh, this is really fun. Allow passions, pursuits to flourish to other traditional work. Renewal stations are provided to every law-abiding citizen for weekly check-ins, and this is exactly the future they want. You will eat the bugs. You will live in the pods, citizen, and if you do, we'll provide for you. If you criticize us, though, we're going to try to destroy you. That's exactly what Mary Robinette Kowal definitely stands for, 100%. Which issue life-sustaining repairs in exchange for personal privacy. But what comes to those who check out, who resist immortality at risk by being edited under the gaze of an identity-extracting government surveillance system. When Holly Winseed wakes up in a hospital room, her memory compromised, a new identity imposed on her. A team of government agents waste no time stating their objective. What's interesting about this whole concept is, as much as they are trying to make this an identity politics thing about transgenderism and feminism and the like, those little social orders are exactly what is trying to erase identity of everybody else who disagrees with them. Every time they talk about diversity, they're always lying, right? They want a monoculture that looks and feels exactly the same, where everybody's in lockstep, where everybody agrees 100%, where there is no individualism. These are commies 100%, and this is exactly what they always try to do. So they've subverted all these tropes, and while they're trying to fight this, quote, oppressive system, they're really creating that oppressive system themselves. It's all a projection. And this is all exactly what goes on in this sort of situation. Now, like I said, there's a reason this is all going on right now. Brandon Sanderson's at the top of his game. He's in the top 50 of all authors out there. Really, really just just selling a ton off of his name because they've propped him up big time. His last book has pushed the LGBTQ agenda very, very hard. He says he's going to continue to do so even more at the expense of his Mormon religion and everything. And this all came because of Mary Robinette Kowal. Brandon Sanderson was a devout Mormon originally. He used to fight against the LGBTQ agenda. He said he would never feature those things in his books because it's against his religion. And Mary Robinette Kowal came along once Brandon signed with Tor Books, started getting bigger, and then inserted herself into his Writing Excuses podcast. That podcast was about teaching writing. It was a lot of fun. I loved listening to it back in the day. It helped me to become a writer back in the day, helped me to improve my craft when I was an amateur, and it was great. Once Mary Robinette Kowal came, though, it changed. It wasn't about the book craft anymore. It was about, women are not enough in science fiction publishing, and it just became something that just went down the drain, because once you invite these people in, they tend to take things over. Now, she's involved with Tor Books and involved with the establishment in science fiction as well, and it seems like she was brought in to be his handler as he gets bigger. And this is what they do. They sell their souls a little piece at a time, and they keep getting pushed to do more and more and more. Brandon Sanderson, at first, in the Way of Kings, put in just a line about the LGBTQ agenda, just like, it was so cringy. You were reading the book, moving along, and then suddenly, like, in the middle of the book, it was like, and he looked at men the way that other men looked at women. I could tell that he did not like women like that, but he liked men like that. It was like, what a ham-fisted, stupid line that had nothing to do with anything. Well, now it's gone crazy. There's a full-on homo relationship. There's full-on gender ideology in the newest book. Transgenderism, it's crazy. And they're pushing this sort of stuff big. And Brandon Sanderson says he's all in on this stuff at this point. Well, that's all because of Kowal's influence, all because of Tor Books' influence. I'm very certain that he took a ticket at some point and sold his soul. And these people in these corporations said, you know what? You're going to push our agenda. If you want to stay big, you're going to be our biggest author. We're going to make you that way. And he went for it because he wanted to be the biggest author. Sometimes that's more important to people than anything else. It takes a very strong person to not seek approval and not seek the approval of this world and actually go and actually fight on behalf of the culture of Jesus Christ against this stuff. It's very, very difficult. Now, Mary Robinette Kowal is a Trump-deranged person. She's attacked people on the right many, many times. She's done crazy things. When she got in charge of the World Science Fiction Convention in Washington, D.C., she actually brought in Raytheon, the weapons manufacturer, as a sponsor. If you don't think it's all tied in, the government military complex, the media complex, it's all tied together. They all support each other. It's one big circle jerk, my friends. It really is. And that's what happens is it is one monolithic lockstep. That's why it's so hard to fight. That's why people like me get blacklisted from publishing, because they try to malign me and destroy me personally. It's been crazy over the years just because I've decided to fight against this stuff and say, you know what, this is corrupt. This is not good. They try to what do they say here? Compromise my identity that's been imposed upon me or whatever. That's exactly what they try to do here. It's very crazy. Now, like I said, this was an audiobook before, and the reason this is coming out is Mary Robinette Kowal came out with a new book, and it's not doing very well. Of course, it was a pro-abortion book, an anti-marriage book, an anti-man book that they were pushing as science fiction again with a lot of degenerate, over-the-top sexual romance in it because that's what they actually write. They don't usually typically write real science fiction. And so now that book was not doing so great. And so instead of just letting this be an audiobook in the past, they wanted to get her name back out there and raise her name profile again. So they do that with Brandon Sanderson's profile. They do this a lot with authors. This is a pretty standard thing to have a co-written thing, which means Mary Robinette Kowal probably wrote the whole thing for real. Brandon Sanderson maybe gave her an outline or an idea, and that's exactly what happened here, probably. That happens all the time, like I said. Terry Brooks is retiring, and they're doing the same thing. They're bringing in a feminist lady named Delilah Dawson, who they've been trying to prop up very similar. You see the same thing. It's a replacement of men in the industry as well. That's a big thing as well. And that's what's happening over there is Delilah Dawson was chosen by the publisher to be the person who's succeeding Terry Brooks in taking over the Shannara series. Very intentional. Very much a subversion of Shannara. Very much just pushing this stuff. And Terry Brooks just goes along with it, probably got a payoff of it, or was told this is what we're going to do. And he said, fine. And that's it. And so Brandon Sanderson got this exact same thing. These people take the ticket to get this big. They take the ticket to get there, and then they're at the behest of their publishers, at the behest of the industry when this all goes forward at this point. So they wanted to raise her profile with this. And as you can see, this is a review from 5 years ago. The original managed to be the first or near miss for me in many respects. Talking about Brandon Sanderson's work. It was my first audio-only title. Audiobook with sound effects, a collaborative effort, and the first book from Sanderson I didn't see coming since 2014 because he didn't write it, right? So he says, I won't go into details. The world I'll discuss, a distant future, can store memories to the point where they die. They can be reborn in a new body, naturally different. The other world-building aspect was, and so the world-building's probably, Sanderson, but look at this. My biggest citizen has to be some of the prose. I'm not normally a stickler for prose. It's difficult to hear tech twice in 4 hours with a hella thrown in for good measure. In the right story, these elements could have worked. This was not that story. And this is, it was not working out very well. And so the prose was pretty bad, but they said it was okay because of the idea anyway. So not a glowing review on Reddit Fantasy right there at that point. Now, like I said, it's going to be propped up. It's already number one. Because it just has Brandon Sanderson's name on it, and that's the point here. This is all about corporate selling out. This is all about pushing that agenda. Really, really sad to watch here. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. If you want some great fantasy without the agenda, this is The Demon's Eye. Go check it out in the description below, guys. Support independent authors. Really appreciate you for being here. That's available on Kindle and paperback, and I appreciate you. We'll be back soon.